I can understand Shelley Finkel not wanting to do a deal with Eddie Hearn and his team for a Joshua Wilder unification in April before December 1st. I can understand him not wanting to do a deal before December 1st, but I can't understand him not wanting to even sit down and talk to Barry or Eddie Hearn before December 1st. To me, that makes no sense. Why? He literally says, Shelley Finkel was quoted in this article as saying, yeah, I'll talk to them. Here we go. After December 1, I will be glad to talk to him or his father Barry or both. All right? But he said after the fight, of course, there's nothing to talk about before that. What? There's loads to talk about. To try and get this fight done for April, they're going to need to start at least preliminary negotiations very soon. Not wait until December 1st. There's no way, given the history between the two camps and the egos involved, there's no way they can get a negotiation done in the... Oh, I mean, let me not say there's no way, because where there's a will, there's a way. But it's going to be very difficult, let's just put it that way, to negotiate this fight from December 1st through to mid-January. That's what they got, like 6 weeks to negotiate. It's going to be very difficult to get a deal done between these two parties and then still have enough time to adequately promote the event between December 1st and mid-January, because that's the amount of time they have. If the fight's going to take place in mid-April, the negotiations have to be done by mid-January. Realistically, if you're going to get the promotion in and the training camps and all that kind of stuff, it needs to be signed off by mid-January at the latest. Yeah? So they need to have some kind of preliminary talks now if this fight's viable at all. And by the way, when it comes to the rematch clause, because this is something which might prevent this fight from happening, when it comes to the Wilder Fury rematch clause, I'm hearing contradictory information. Initially, Ben Davison and several other people were saying that there's a two-way rematch clause. That if either guy loses, they get the opportunity at an immediate rematch. But now I'm hearing that Fury actually hasn't got an immediate rematch clause. So there's contradictory information. I don't know what to believe. All right? Maybe Hearn don't know what to believe. But bottom line is, if there's any way that Wilder Joshua can happen in April, the negotiations, at least the preliminary talks, need to start very soon, and in fact, preferably now. Why wouldn't Shelley Finkel at least sit down and talk to the Hearns right now? He's not the one getting in there and fighting Tyson Fury. It's not going to bother him to talk. He's a man. He's supposed to be thinking ahead for his fighter. Eddie Hearn does. He thinks ahead for Anthony Joshua. If he gets past this, he's going to fight this guy and so on and so on. He's been doing that since the start of his career. Planning ahead. Joshua's not supposed to plan ahead because he's supposed to keep his eye on the prize and what's directly in front of him. Focus on who he's fighting now. He's not supposed to be looking into the future. But his promoter does have the luxury of being able to look into the future. And any savvy businessman is supposed to be doing that for their client. Looking at the potential future bouts. So again, just to clarify my position, I do not think that Deontay Wilder and Shelley Finkel should sign a Joshua fight before December 1st. In fact, I would strongly advise them not to. Not that they need my advice, but I would strongly advise them not to sign a fight against Joshua before December 1st, because they need to figure out where Deontay Wilder's market value is at after the Fury fight, if he even beats Fury. Okay, they need to figure out, or they need to find out how many pay-per-views it sold, how much money he made, and with that, all that knowledge, then they can go to the negotiating table with Eddie Hearn for a Joshua fight and put their cards on the table and say, this is what we want. We've just sold this amount of pay-per-views, this amount of people watched it, we made this amount of money. Now we can talk. You know, so they should not sign a contract before then, but they can at least open preliminary talks. Other than the money, they can get other aspects of the contract sorted out. with the rematch clauses and a percentage split back, they could at least talk about potential percentage splits. Finkel could say, all right, if my man knocks Fury out early and it does this amount of numbers or that amount, they can at least sit down and talk. Even if it's not intense negotiations, sit down and talk. Work some things out. Who's going to walk to the ring for, you know what I mean? Like all the petty stuff, they could surely talk about that and work that out. Just so they don't have to do it after December 1st. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense? So, very frustrating that Shelley Finkel won't sit down with the Hearns. Some people are going to look at it and say, well, Finkel don't really want the fight anyway. He knows the fight ain't going to happen in April because there may be a rematch clause with Fury, and then there's Dominic Brazil, that situation. What's going to happen there? Who knows? Let me know what you guys feel about this saga in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.